Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia and today we will be talking about 10 signs that you might be a light worker. So if you are suspecting, if you've heard the word light worker and you really would like to know a little bit more about it, or perhaps you think you might be one, here is 10 signs that really characterize and these are the abilities or the experiences that every light worker shares. So let's get right to it. Number one, I wrote down you are highly sensitive. You identify yourself, you were born as a highly sensitive person. We call it empath. In modern world, we use these labels. I don't want to get attached to labels, but these labels help us really understand the energy. So every time I will be speaking of someone as an empath, as a narcissist, as a light worker, it's really to describe the energy they are embodying. So that's all it is. I want to really make it clear that it's basically all about the energy we are emanating and bringing out into the world. So number one, like I said, you were born as a highly sensitive person, which means you really are able to absorb the energy and you really can feel into the energy of the room. When you walk in, you can feel the energy of other people, places, animals, objects even. So you're just basically highly sensitive. Number two, you are probably going through a spiritual awakening right now. These times we live in right now are really very, very potent. More and more people are waking up. It's like, you feel like everyone is really talking about, spiritual ascension, evolution of consciousness, and so on. So the times are changing. More and more people are waking up to their abilities, are really opening up the crown chakra, and are able to connect to the spiritual world. So most of the time, spiritual awakening is not spontaneous. That happens very, very rarely. Most of the times it's actually a process that lasts many years, probably perhaps even your whole lifetime, from the moment it starts to the rest of your life. But it's actually a journey, and it's a beautiful journey to be on. But light workers for sure are experiencing spiritual awakening right now. And you also feel like you're called to shine light on the dark parts of the world right now. Dark on the darkness, on the darkest areas, dark experiences, and so on. So you're able to really shine. Number two, you feel like you're an old soul. That's an important one, and it's something that we cannot really read about. It's something that you have a feeling, kind of like an intuition, a gut feeling is telling you. You feel like you're an old soul. You don't feel like you are new to this earth, you just don't feel like your wisdom, the way you feel your energy, the way you connect to this world on this earth in current times, you just feel older, like you've done it before. So you definitely feel like an old soul. Number three, you feel you have extreme strong intuition, and that's I think that should be actually number one, because that's the main characteristic of every light worker who is an empath as well, that you have a very strong intuition. And again, it's something you cannot explain. It's really something you embody, you carry with you, and you probably had it from the moment you were a little child. You might remember, even as a child, having these glimpses of intuition, of you at that time you didn't know that's what it is, but it's something like an inner knowing that you just knew something will happen. You just knew what the other person is feeling. You just knew, you had this gut feeling, and there's things you simply know, and you just can't explain how do you know them? Like, people who don't carry this energy, who don't really feel it, who are not connected to their intuition, they simply won't understand. So it's something that really, it's very, very hard to describe with words. So if you know what I'm talking about, you felt it, you know exactly what it is. Number 4, I wrote, you experience high amount of synchronicities from your spirit guides, from your guides. These can be synchronicities in your day-to-day life. These can be numbers, number 111 or 1111, 444. You might see them over and over. These are kind of little signs you see here and there throughout your day, and you know what they mean. You know that these are the signs that are guiding you. These are your guides protecting you. And again, it's something you just know. It's, once again, it's not like you're really are planning on seeing these numbers. You didn't read really a lot into them, but they appear in your life, and you are able to pick up on them, and you know exactly what they mean in that moment. So that's a wonderful experience, by the way. Number 5, let's talk about number 5. You feel called to be of service and help other people in any way you can. So this is something all light workers embody. They were born with the intention, with the soul's plan to really help other people. And this doesn't mean you have to be a healer, a spiritual teacher, a Reiki master. It doesn't even have to do anything with spiritual world. You can simply be a work at a cash register at a store and be able to connect with people, but you have an internal guidance that is telling you you are here on this earth to help people. That's a calling. That's your inner, like I said, your inner guidance, and it simply is. You are born with it, and you feel in your body with your whole soul, with your whole body, your whole energy, you're here to help other people. That's very, very important one. Number 6, you often feel overwhelmed and burnt out. And that's because we have extrasensory abilities as light workers, and we often absorb energy from other people, from other places, from other, just different energies throughout the day. And that can really drain your own energy. I found from my own example, from my own life, being a light worker and being this person who has really sensory abilities, it can be super draining. So I always tell people, my body needs a lot of sleep. So I need to sleep, and I've learned that throughout my years of going through this ascension process, healing my depression and anxiety. I've learned that sleep is something that my body is basically processing all of the energies, all of the experiences that I took on during the day. I'm really able to process, and they are able to move through my body at night for sleep during at night. So that is very, very common. It doesn't have to happen if you're a light worker, if you're an empath who really knows how to take care of you. You've learned throughout the years how to take care of your own energy. Self-care is something that you already mastered. Then it doesn't happen to you a lot anymore. But usually when we're in the beginning stages of realizing that's who we are, or perhaps we don't even know that we are a light worker, it's very, very easy to get overwhelmed. I used to get overwhelmed super easy with all of it. I just felt like it's people's energies are bombarding me, because I am personally, I can feel other people's energies, moods, emotions, and I take them on and I feel them in my own body. So most of the times these emotions were not even mine, but because I really didn't know what's going on, I thought these are my emotions. So many times I felt like I'm very emotionally unstable because I pick up on those emotions. So that can happen very easily, and that's why many light workers who are in the beginning stages, who are still learning how to master the energy, the self-care practices, they can experience the burnout, the overwhelm can really easily can lead to anxiety and depression. That's something that can happen. Number 7, you have an innate, again, something that you were born with. You can't learn that. You have innate love and very deep connection to nature, to animals, to children. That's something in you that you naturally gravitate towards. So again, it's not something you can learn. It comes from your nature. You just embody it. You if you met someone like that who is absolutely immediately drawn to kids, my thing is the children. I've been always around my children my whole life. I have 4 children of my own, and that's something how I connect to them on a very, very, very special, deep level. The same with animals. So if you are drawn to animals, nature, I personally love the woods and I love the water. So that's something also every light worker gravitate towards: nature, Mother Earth, and really the deep longing for this natural beauty. Number 8, that's a big one. You seek truth and deeper meaning in life, in everything, which means not a lot of people will be able to connect with you, because you carry this energy of depth. You carry the energy of really embodying the truth. And I found, based on my experience, if a person is not on the same path, if they, it doesn't mean that, you're better than them. It just simply means the energy is different. You are on the path of really, perceive all of the beautiful gifts from this world, and then transform them and kind of process them in your body, and then reflect them back into the world. And if another person, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a friend, if they don't really understand how you connect to this world, it's super difficult for them to connect to you. You actually will trigger them, because the way you also bring out the truth, not many people right now are ready. More and more people are ready and waking up to the truth, but there's still a lot of people who are not ready yet, and that's fine. But you need to discern, you need to see that this is what it is. So it doesn't mean, I often before, in the past, when I was really still I was on the beginning journey, I really thought something is wrong with me, because I always felt like I'm different from the people around me. That was my feeling I always had, like something is wrong with me because I'm completely different. Everyone is able to connect somehow, and I was just different. That's all I can say. That's all how I can describe it. Okay, let's move on. So number 9, that goes right back to number 8. You can often feel alone and misunderstood. And that's because you are a little bit more in tune with this world, with a higher spiritual world. And if you're around people who are not on the same path, or who absolutely don't know your gifts, your abilities, they don't understand. I always compare it to 2 different softwares. If you have a software on a like a Samsung Android, you absolutely won't, that software is not the same as Apple software, so you won't be able to connect in the same way. Both are valid, both are very, very important, and one is not better than the other, but they don't really go, they're just different, and that's all it is. But you can, as a light worker, especially in the beginning, before you really embody it fully and you learn how to work with your own abilities and accept yourself fully, you can feel misunderstood very easily. And finally, guys, number 10, you often have spiritual gifts. You have often various psychic abilities, which are very, very, they become more and more potent with time. So in the beginning stages, you might not even know what they are. But with time, you as a light worker, and as you grow in your spiritual journey, you learn what your spiritual gifts are. You learn that these extrasensory abilities are your gifts, actually. So in the beginning, you might feel like something is wrong with you, you're cursed somehow, you're too sensitive, you are always anxious, you're always overwhelmed. But in reality, you have extrasensory perception abilities, which is a beautiful gift. You just need to learn how to connect to this gift. You need to learn how to recharge your body, calm down your nervous system so your body comes back to balance, and then you're able to use these gifts as really gifts in your life. So I hope this video will help you guys to really give you a little bit certainty if you were wondering if you might be a light worker. These were the 10 signs. So I hope this will help you. If this video was helpful, please comment below and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I hope to see you soon. I love you. Bye.